it's Kate here. In this video, I will show you how to use Excel to produce or to prepare budget for a production company. So I will use problem 6.24 in your textbook to illustrate this practice. So you should be aware that in the practice, different company will use different kind of software and different kind of format or package to produce a budget, but the principle would be similar. So you just need to master the principle of preparing a budget, and then you are good to go. You should be able to be flexible in the way that you work with different software. All right. So in problem 6.24, you should open the textbook with you now, because I'm not going to go through the details in the question, but go straight directly to the solution, because I don't have much time in the video to go through the question. So the first question is require you to put all the information in the spreadsheet. So requirement A require you to create a spreadsheet with data input box at the top. So as you look at this area on the left hand side, I have colored this. This is the data input. So you see that I put direct materials, direct labor, inventory information, revenue assumption all in here, and then each of the information I put in one cell. It is important because you are going to use the reference cell. You are not going to input any figures in the budget, but you will refer to the cells in the initial input data. So in case later on you change any assumption, initial data, you just need to change in one place, and then automatically all the figures in the budget will be changed. Okay, remember, you will never use any direct numbers in the budget, but also only use the formula and the reference cell. That's why we have to separate the input data into different columns. All right, so up until this part, you can pause my video, and then you can create your own data input box, and then after that you can continue with the video. Now let's go to part B, prepare a revenue budget. So the company names Fighting Kites, and then that is the budgeted revenue. So remember that in the lectures, when we prepare the sales budget or the revenue budget, we need the sales volume and the sales price. So here we have the budgeted sales volume equal, we come back to the revenue assumption, which is here. All right, so I'll not put 80,000. I put equal B28, and then it's come up to 80,000, because I don't want to change later on. If I change assumption and the sales change, I just need to change the column, the cell B28, and that's everything I will change. And then similarly with the budgeted selling price, you put equal, and the selling price here B27, and then you get it. All right, and now the budgeted revenue, revenue equal the sales volume times the selling price. So again, we use the formula here. You will not calculate 80,000 times 75 but using your computer, using your calculator and put the figures here, but you use the formula here. So 80 times 75 here, which is 6 million. Okay, so later on, if I change that to 85,000, I will change that in B28. Now the budgeted sales, the budgeted production in units. So you want to know that how many units you will produce during the period. and you will have to take into account how much you want to sell, how much you have in the beginning of the period, and how much you want to have at the end of the period. Alright, so the budgeted sales start. You want to sell again, you will use the reference cell, and the budgeted sales is here. And then the targeted ending finished goods, how many units you want to have at the end of the period. So you have a look at the inventory information, the green box here. So you see that the finished goods in units, targeted ending, which is this one, right? So you want that one, finished good in unit, targeted. So that is C22. And you remember that you also have some of the finished goods at beginning of the period. So you want to subtract that figures. And again, you use reference cell here. The beginning finished good in unit is B23. All right. And now how much we have to produce? You take the budgeted sales plus targeted ending and minus the beginning finished good, and that is what you have to produce, 79,200 units.